And so I have made my decision. Hello, everyone, and welcome to fudge Saturday. Yeah, it has to be Saturday. Um, First off, I want to talk about today's events. Man, I did I did snow stuff. I made snowballs. I made an itty bitty snowman. Um, I helped Dad uh, clean off the walkway, and all but the walkway thing was pretty fun. But yeah, you guys saw yesterday how it snowed and everything. In fact, it snowed a little bit this morning, last night, something. Um, at one point, we decided to take a walk around the block, and we took the dogs, and Hunter was not doing so good. Let me tell you guys about that. He was not doing well at all right near the end. His and this is a little sad, honestly, but his legs were kind of giving out on him right near the end of our little walk. It definitely reminded me and Dad that he's an old boy. He's an old boy. Um, but we did have fun. We took a nice little walk around the block, and it was pretty cool. At one point, I picked up Hunter and held him like a baby. It was incredible. I told Mom and Dad to take a picture of it, but they of course they didn't. Yeah. Um, but more importantly, perhaps more importantly, um, I have decided what case I'm going to get, what case I'm going to replace the InWin 707 with. Um, it is going to be the Fractal Design Define R5. And when I say that the Define R5 is pretty much a smaller version of the InWin 707, I don't feel like I'm terribly off kilter. They both have the minimalistic front front panel looking design. They both have 8 drive bays, and there's so much more that they have in common. They both have water cooling support. They both have 2 USB 2.0 and 2 USB 3.0 ports, as well as audio ports on the front, mostly at the top. Which quite frankly, that's kind of standard. But um, but the Define R5, uh, while it doesn't have as many 5 1/4 bay drives that the InWin 707 does, I can work around that. It's slightly smaller than the InWin 707, but I've done the measurements, and the Define R5 will fit perfectly in that little cubbyhole right there. Perfectly. In fact, there might be a good clearance right there for I don't know, a shelf or something. Not only that, but it also has sound dampening material in it. It has its own fan controller. There's a lot of stuff that the Define R5 has that the InWin 707 doesn't. And honestly, it looks, and according to the reviews I've read, seems like a better PC case altogether. Um, in fact, I've been so excited, troubled, one of the two words, by the idea of me getting a new PC case that I have been researching for the past several minutes. In fact, I've been thinking about this almost all night, about how to get the fan controller on the R5 to control LEDs instead of the fans. and I think I found a way to do it. At some point, once I am able to test out this theory, I may just do that. I may just show you what I'm talking about. Remind me to do that. But for now, I think the Define R5 is going to be the case I'm going to get. There's a lot to be said about the N1707 being a good case. I've just had really bad experiences with it, and I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's that things have kind of fallen apart on it. In fact, I forgot to mention this part, but the Define R5 that I'm hopefully getting, that I plan to get, is not black and red. It's black and white. So this opens up the potential for me to do case mods. Mostly painting. I already told you guys about the LEDs and stuff like that. But I wanted, and this is all based off of pictures, not of an actual one-to-one looking at the case, but just on pictures of the case itself online. I want to see if I can paint almost all of the white parts within the case red, as well as the sides to the front panel, like the N1707 has a red border around the front panel. I would love to do that with the R5. So I am really excited because I kind of want to do a custom PC case. I think that'd be really fun to try out. Not only that, it has the same amount of, as I told you guys a second ago, it has the same amount of drive bays, the hard drive bays, which means I can still do that NAS idea I was talking about, running a NAS on my gaming computer. And I don't know, the R5 really has everything I need it to have. It doesn't have everything I necessarily want it to have, but there's certainly additives to make up for it. Additives? There's certainly additions to the case that the N1707 doesn't have that make up for the stuff that it doesn't have. If that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but whatever. So yeah, I think that's the case I'm going to be getting. In fact, I'm going to be looking up ways to what exactly goes into coloring a PC case, painting. Anyway, so yeah, that was my day. That was my decision. Thank you all so much for watching. Tomorrow I work again, and believe it or not, today I actually worked 11 hours. Yeah, 11 hours. That is ridiculous. In fact, yesterday's vlog I told you guys that I would be going to work at 7 a.m. Well, it turns out after my parents got home, they said, no, you have to go to work at 7 p.m. Apparently the store manager had told them to tell me that I didn't go to work until 7 p.m. So, I went to work at 7 p.m., in fact 6 p.m. more or less. Clocked in around 6:05 or so, and actually I worked 12 hours. Yeah, I clocked out right around 6:30. Wow. Not only that, but I also have to work every day up until Sunday. And considering today is Saturday, that means I have to work 7 days in a row. Yeah. How do I stop being an adult? I want to get off. Anyway. that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Until tomorrow, see you all later.